Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
We're just a couple of kooky, crazy kids in love. They love reacting to the Clone Wars.
Yes, we do. And Bucky does too.
Yeah, he
had to be a
does.
part of it today.
And so we're checking out Season 6, Episode 11, Voices. Yoda escapes the Jedi Temple to follow a disembodied voice.
You know, hearing
Nice.
voices usually isn't a good thing.
No, it is definitely not. But love that we get a Yoda episode, Yoda-centric episode. That's pretty awesome. Madness can sometimes be the path to truth. See, sometimes you have to go crazy and hear voices.
Yoda.
Hear you, I do. My imagination, it must be.
No, it is I, Qui-Gon Jinn.
I was about to say, it sounded like Liam Neeson.
I am part of the living force, Yoda.
Oh, shit.
Impossible.
Yoda didn't know that was possible?
I am not sure this council is admitting how grave a situation we are in. That Dooku is not the Sith Lord, merely an apprentice.
Your thoughts on these revelations?
Forgive me. Deep in thought I was.
That's not like Yoda.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's worried.
Master Ki-Adi-Mundi is worried.
Worried we all should be. The growing dark side endangers us all.
Just gonna point out that Mace Windu never really got an answer to his question. Wasn't that the Jedi whose Padawan wound up betraying Ahsoka?
Yeah.
There is great turmoil within Master Yoda.
We all sensed it.
For something to affect Yoda this deeply concerns me.
Yeah.
The war has taxed all of us to our limit. I suppose we're just surprised that Master Yoda has one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the shadow of something greater.
Yoda.
Oh, Master Yoda. Is everything okay?
Spoke with Master Qui-Gon Jinn on Mortis, did you not?
Yes. However, since he's dead, we don't think it was actually him. A mind trick formed out of our memories. That's what Obi-Wan believes. Everything that we know about the Force tells us that an individual retaining their identity after death is impossible.
But what about what we know not?
Are you suggesting that you have spoken with Master Qui-Gon?
Rest I need. Yes, rest. Then speak with the council I shall.
They're gonna say Yoda's going crazy. He's too old.
The voice I hear does not come from within, but speaks from beyond. Many of you can hear it as well.
Then together, we shall meditate.
In the next 20 minutes of this episode, he's just done the same thing.
That's a heck of a tail that one
I know.
has. I mean, that's an impressive tail.
Aw. They'll put their hands on him.
It's like they're giving him their strength.
Yeah. Go Bayside. Give you some time lapse.
They've been there for a long time.
Hear the voice. I did not.
I also sensed nothing.
Answers we will not find.
We have to consider that this may be a deception by the Sith.
You are older and wiser than any living Jedi. This does not mean you are beyond the corruption of the dark side.
A possibility we must consider. It is clouded. So much of our vision the dark side has.
All I can tell you is I have scanned Master Yoda 3 times and I find nothing wrong with him. From my point of view, he is in perfect health. This section of the brain is particularly active. Probably what happens when you approach 900 years old.
Oh, damn.
Dooku was Yoda's apprentice. Dooku has fallen to the dark side.
He cannot be held accountable for Dooku's descent.
Whoever the Sith Lord is, he may be using this relationship as a direct link to Yoda. If the Sith Lord wanted to attack the Jedi Order from within, Master Yoda would be the perfect choice. I fear we are more vulnerable than we think.
He's the one that was against Ahsoka. He's just a paranoid dude.
The Chancellor is requesting that Master Yoda attend an emergency meeting.
I will go.
What about the treatment?
Only he can decide now.
I mean, I don't like that guy either necessarily, but thinking like an evil person, he was doing a good job of. Yoda would be the best person to,
Yeah.
if you could do it.
Taken into an induced meditation.
Master Yoda, you don't have to do this.
Solve this puzzle. I will. Help this will.
I guess, I mean, like, he made good points, but I guess the reason I don't like him is because he's always the one to like doubt and like
Yes.
mistrust people. And it's like if it came from somebody else, it came from
Life
like
signs are normal.
Obi-Wan, I'd be more receptive to it. But it's like,
No, I agree with you. Like, if he's always the naysayer, you got to wonder, like, dude, why are you here?
yeah,
I mean, it's good to think of what can go wrong, to be prepared for it, but
What are you doing?
By reducing the flow of oxygen, the body will be forced into a deep meditative state.
I don't like this.
nope. There's not a lot to like right there.
This is not the way. Come to Dagobah. The answers you seek are here.
But why?
You must complete what I could not.
His vital signs are dropping too low. I want him out of there now. Master Yoda, wake up!
Speak of this to no one. Come to Dagobah alone.
because he's got to train Luke, because he's got to train the Chosen One like Qui-Gon couldn't.
Welcome back, old friend.
Speaking to the dead, I was. Good friend.
Yoda seems to be under the impression he contacted the dead and spoke with them.
What are your thoughts on this, Doctor?
Medically, Yoda seems fine.
What Yoda claims is not possible.
Of course you said no. Yeah, exactly.
The dead are part of the cosmic force. I fear Yoda is under attack by the Sith, though how remains unknown to us.
Yeah, but what you said they said was impossible. So,
Yeah.
like,
I want temple guards placed in the medical bay.
let's take impossible off the table and let's just entertain every possibility.
It's raining outside and the forecast called for sunshine. This must be the Sith plot. Fucking guy.
You asked for me, Master?
Yes. Friends we are. Hmm?
Oh.
A choice you must make. Worried for you I am. Do something for me. You must. Blamed you will be.
What must I do?
Help me to escape.
Escape? But you're not in prison.
But perhaps I am.
I love that he asked Anakin.
A journey I must make. Alone.
I love how mischievous he is.
It's a little mischievous grin.
Disobeying the council, your expertise is. It is the spontaneity you find so easily. That is what sets you apart.
I love that.
Yep.
A walk you will take me on. Come,
Where are you going?
some fresh air I require.
It's okay. He's with me. Hey, R2. I have a mission for you. Get him to a ship as fast as possible and get him out of here.
Yay! Yoda and R2 on a mission from God.
I love that it's like R2 yet again, Dagobah system,
Yeah.
secret mission.
Yep.
What have you done?
Hey, for once, none of this was my idea.
Great line.
Yes, stay with the ship you may. This task, for me alone, it is.
Oh. R2 never gets over his fear of this place.
Here I am, ready for my next instruction, Master Qui-Gon.
Yoda, you have come at last.
Qui-Gon Jinn. Losing my mind, I am not.
No, my friend, no. Follow the light. The light will be your guide.
Usually it's a bad thing for people his age to follow the light.
Hearing voices, following the light. None
Yeah.
of these things feel like a good thing.
Strong this planet is with the Force.
It is one of the purest places in the galaxy.
How are you here?
I am a manifestation of the Force.
Show yourself. Can you?
My training was incomplete. All energy from the living Force feeds into the cosmic Force, binding everything and communicating to us through the midichlorians.
See the future. You can.
I exist where there is no future or past.
Know you, who the Sith Lord is.
I can only show you a place where the answers will be revealed to you. Give power to that which you fear, and it will show itself to you.
Cool.
So what does Yoda fear?
I know. No, the Jedi losing and dying. Oh.
Come on, recognize the butt chin.
Yoda, come back to us.
Such darkness, such evil. When will this happen?
It is happening right now. What you felt in the cave is merely a portion of what the dark side now holds.
Any hope that the Jedi can prevail?
There is always hope, my friend. The key is knowing how to see it and seizing that opportunity. I have been tasked with guiding you forward. You have been chosen, as I was before you. You will learn to preserve your life force, manifest a consciousness which will allow you to commune with the living after death. You will travel to one of the origins of all life in the galaxy.
This place is where?
The Force will be your guide. Goodbye, my friend.
No. Back to Coruscant. We are not going yet. Only begun. Our long journey has.
Cool. So that was a great episode, setting up when Yoda and Luke meet in Empire, and yeah, it just like it was such a treat.
I love that this just provided context for why Yoda is this hermit out in the Dagobah system, and like we understand now what drove him there, especially after everything that happens. Getting to see some insight into what he is afraid of, which as such a source for good and the positive force and the light, it makes sense that his fear is, of course, a Sith takeover and the darkness winning out. And yeah, I love that we got to have a Yoda episode, and also that we got to see a little bit more of Yoda's humanity. And what I mean in that is that we always look at Yoda as like so revered. I mean, he's Yoda, you know, he's amazing. He's brilliant and wise and strong, and he's the Mr. Miyagi of the Star Wars universe. So to see him in a position of doubt for like the first time ever, to see him in a position of vulnerability because he's hearing voices, and to see the people around him question him is such a new and novel thing to us as members of the Star Wars audience. I love how they depicted that too, because it's really complicated. I mean, you have the one guy who is sort of like a bit of a dick on the Jedi Force.
The Debbie Downer.
Yeah, who's the naysayer all the time. And I mean, I get that they need to have someone representing
Devil's
that.
advocate, yeah.
But it's probably an unfortunate disservice to this one character that it's always him, because it makes you wonder why the hell is he on the Jedi Council. But he brings up some really valid points, which is if you are Sith, what better person to go after than the person who trained all the Jedi? If you were looking to undermine them or brainwash them or manipulate them, Yoda would be the key to doing all of that. You know, so that aspect to then Mace Windu, who I think is probably the realist in the situation.
Yeah.
And then you have, of course, Obi-Wan, who's the complete opposite of the naysayer, who is, you know, no, it's not possible for anything bad to be happening with Yoda, which I love him for. But I think in this set of circumstances, I liked Mace Windu best, because I'm like, well, at this point, if somebody is screwing with Yoda, be they good or bad, they've gotten a hold of him in a capacity that means nothing should be off the table. Anything is possible. If you can get to Yoda, you could get to anyone.
Loved seeing with Anakin and Yoda, and like you said, at the time, his mischievous little smile that he had, and knowing exactly who to turn to help him out.
Undermining the council is your specialty.
Yeah, just like Yoda knew exactly that Ahsoka would be a great Padawan for Anakin. You know, I mean, that's just one of the things that like Yoda just knows people and knows their strengths and their weaknesses so well, and is able to spot it. And also, like when you said that this sort of humanizes Yoda, and yeah, it's like one of those things where, I don't know, it's also like what happens, I think sometimes, and that doesn't happen with everybody, but sometimes when you're a kid or whatever, like you think your parents are just like, you know, they know everything and they, you know exactly what they're doing all the time. And, you know, you don't really almost see them as people. You see them as like, you know, your mom and your dad or whatever. And so like, we only saw Yoda as like Yoda. He's just this like wise old Jedi that knows everything and is never wrong and like doesn't fear anything. Because there was one point when we were watching the younglings go and get their kyber crystals and they had to face their fears before getting it. And I remember thinking like, oh, it would have been cool to see, like, I wonder what Yoda had like to face, because I can't see Yoda like fearing, like being afraid of anything. So it was nice seeing that part in here. And like also him, you know, doubting his own mind and how quickly, you know, it wasn't quickly, but I mean, you know, he was basically being held prisoner there.
Yeah.
And he realized that like they didn't like trust Yoda yet. And so, man, I don't know, just how quickly things can change.
I also thought it was interesting in the first Anakin and Yoda scene that Anakin seemed to hear Qui-Gon's voice. And I wonder, I mean, that's at least what I got from it. Now, I could be totally mistaken, but it sounded like he heard someone say Yoda.
Yeah, and then he went to, yeah.
And then he turned around and like Yoda was there. But I wonder what would have happened if he had expressed that he had heard something. Like, I think Anakin dismissed it as like, did that really just happen? Like, the way any of us, I think, would under the circumstances. But had Anakin expressed to Yoda, did you say something? Like just break that ice a little bit. I wonder what would have happened. Similarly, as you were talking about how Yoda knew that Ahsoka was a great Padawan for Anakin, since she's not with us, it does make me wonder, like, how would Anakin's journey have changed?
Yeah.
If Ahsoka was still in the picture. I mean, I think him being entrusted with a Padawan, him having to lead and to train someone was a really positive influence on him. You know, I think sometimes giving people that trust and that potential for advancement and that potential for leadership actually brings out some of their best qualities where they can step into that versus like just writing themselves off because they lack any kind of responsibility or authority. Does not happen in all situations or to everyone, but sometimes it is exactly what somebody needs to step up. And I think that was the case for Anakin. He had to think about things in a leadership capacity rather than in the renegade capacity that he had been living in as his Padawan self and coming into the Force.
Yeah, and someone had actually said in the comments in one of the previous videos that, like, you know, I think it was at the end of season 5, that Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order is like one of the biggest what ifs in the Star Wars universe. Like, what if, you know, what if that she hadn't left? And the series isn't always the best. And I'm thinking more of the comic book series than the actual show on Disney Plus. But what if in Marvel Comics I always enjoyed, because, you know, they did those little scenarios, you know. So I think it'd be cool to see that in the Star Wars universe. Maybe there is a comics out there for what if scenarios in the Star Wars universe.
Oh yeah, if there is, tell us, because I would be curious to check that out as well.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want all of our Clone Wars reactions and early ad-free access to our Clone Wars reactions, check out the description of this video, because we got a playlist there, a link to our Patreon. You can also get our full watch-along reactions there. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for the Clone Wars Season 6, Episode 11, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.